Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch and be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the following live stream and the after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench, which is right below in memory of our friends. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. When you register, you must separate your real first and last name with a space. You must also have a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're approved and you're just inclined to stay and watch outside, watch this live on YouTube or watch the replay, fine, fantastic. Now, if you're in here live watching the live stream, you can actually participate by going into the chat box over here. You can ask questions or have comments there, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, we have behind me, usually I have former world champions, former national champions. People have been flying and building for 55, 60 years. Sparky, as a matter of fact, has like 60 years experience of building and flying. And I say that to encourage you to join our memberships. We have a membership that starts at $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And you can support your hobby. Hopefully it's your passion, like it is for me and many others. And I'm encouraging you to do that, to support us. Now, also, please make sure you do subscribe, share, comments. All these things help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. And also, you can do the super chats, which is located right over here below the chat box. There's a $sign there. Click on that and you can donate any amount you like. Now, that's not a subscription. Just come in, hopefully do it frequently and donate. Now, if you're watching the replay, you can click on what's called the Super Thanks, which is right below the big screen. And that's another way of showing your support. Now, if you have any questions or comments that are directed toward me, the best way to do that would be to go to my YouTube channel. You see, this channel is Sparky's YouTube channel on YouTube. It's called Stunthangar. I don't check the comments. I don't go back. I just come in here Monday and Friday nights, set up the show, stream it on YouTube, and then I don't come back again until the following Friday or Monday, whatever day is next. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. Let me repeat that. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And I fly Control Line Stunt. That's the name of my channel. Go there, and if you locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful Junar XL. And check it out. Go ahead and critique me. Tell me what I did wrong, or how I could improve, and let's have some fun. But please, share, like, subscribe to my channel as well, and I'd appreciate that. Now, I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. Without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at Stunthangar Forum. Just give me a moment there. I'll make my way there. Okay, got that. And let me go to Stunthangar forum, and the link is posted. Now it's posted. All right, great. Now I'm going to make my way to the what I call the Stunthangar forum. I mean the control panel, excuse me. All right, so here we go, making my way. I see we are streaming, good. And I'm still making my way to the control panel. Just give me a moment there. Let's see here. Let's go there. Great. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I got a chance to work on my S311 just a little bit. I'm working on the inboard wing panel. On the outboard wing panel, I already made the outer section of the flap where I can adjust it. And I'm doing the same thing to the inboard panel. Hey, Caffeine, I'll be right with you, man. Just give me 1 second.
All right, no problem, Charles.
Let's see here. And we'll be cooking with gas. Let me fix this. Let's see here. Click that. All right. Almost done, y'all. All right. Great. Fantastic. And hey, Caffeine, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in early. I appreciate it.
I'm doing good. Just yeah, I got sick a bit about last weekend, but yeah, it's getting better now.
Oh, good, good. So that must have ruined your flying, I imagine, being sick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's too bad. Yeah, I hate that part about being sick. Can't go flying, especially when it's a day that I normally fly, and it's beautiful weather, you know.
Uh-huh. Well, in fact, I went out to the field on Saturday, and I had like 4 flights, but I was trying to trim further my factor. But uh, I've been dealing a lot with the factor being too fast, and then I switched back the muffler into its stock tube muffler. It did work to tame down the engine. It the RPM is lowered, is decreased, but and it also put me in 5.7 per lap. But with that slower lap times comes another problems.
Right.
I couldn't do the 90-degree wing over really well, because every time I want to do the sharp wing over, it's just the plane, it doesn't feel it was going up, like it's always losing tension. And then it was good when I was trying to do the inside loops, but when I was trying to do the inverted or lazy eight at the top, and then I was trying to make an entry for inverted flight. Suddenly it lost its tension. I don't know, is it do you think it's because the I don't have enough power to do such thing, or another problems?
Well, to me, it sounds like. Let me welcome Gary Sinclair. Hey, Gary,
Yeah.
how you
Hi.
doing?
Good.
Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, I've had opportunities like what you described,
Mm-hmm.
Caffeine, where the engine's not running optimally, and
Mm-hmm.
a chance to, like for that example, yours is running kind of slow. And so
Mm-hmm.
what I'm looking for, I want the same. I'm gonna have less line tension, right? Because the motor's going
Yes.
slow, but I still want the same line tension, whether it's inside or outside. If I'm doing inside
Yes.
loops or outside loops, so that kind of
Mm-hmm.
exposed to me. So I had a similar experience with my Strega, and I
Mm-hmm.
realized that I must have had a warp or
Okay.
something that's caused it to be different. It should be the same tension, even though it's hardly any tension at all, right? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
not the lap speed you'd like. So that means you might have a warp, either
Okay.
a warp somewhere. It could be a flap, it
Mm-hmm.
could be a wing, but you
Mm-hmm.
want to see if you can fix that. You really want it to be the same. Because even if you have great line tension, it's gonna show up again somewhere. Maybe when you finally do your um, your 40 clover, it'll show up that
mhm,
asymmetry. You want it to
mhm.
be pretty darn close. So that's not a bad thing. You might want to check your alignment of your flaps and see if they're right. Now, was you by yourself?
Yep.
What you say? Okay, because it's good to have someone else that can at least they can see whether your outboard wingtip is up or down when you're flying level. Uh,
Okay.
and even then, sometimes when I'm flying level and I have things and it looks like it's flat, both upright and inverted, but it still
Mhm.
might expose itself when I get above 45 degrees, and I have to address it there. So I think
Okay.
I suspect you have a warp, but I'm wondering, if boy, because it seems like you're
Because when I was still having the tongue muffler, and when I was still having like 4.8, 4.9 seconds per lap, uh as long as I remember, I didn't have those problems. I could do really well, like lazy eight, and
right.
then went into inverted without any problem. But it's yeah, it's strange, but yeah,
Well, you had
I
more
will.
centrifugal force because
Uh-huh.
it's going faster. You have more centrifugal force, so
Yeah. Yes,
it can
yes.
overcome that deficiency, that warp.
Uh-huh.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good that you discovered you have an issue. Um,
Yep.
I would look for it now if it's loose on outsides. Trying to remember which way you got to. You might have to bend the flap down, I believe.
Okay.
Just a hair. We're not talking about a lot, like a like a
Mm-hmm.
16th of an inch. That might or put a trim tab on there.
Mm-hmm.
Trim tab might be best. Do you have
Yep.
full span flaps or partial flaps?
Partial. It's
Oh,
on my
really?
effect.
Oh, okay. Well, my S11 is the same way. Hey, Tryon,
Yep.
what's happening with caffeine? He was flying his plane before his vector, and he was getting pretty fast lap times, 4.9, 4.8, and it never showed that he had unequal line tension when it was inside or outside maneuvers, right? But now that
Mm-hmm.
put the stock muffler on, he was flying at 5.5, and he saw the difference when he was doing outside maneuvers. The lines got looser, and I'm
Yep.
And
thinking,
I couldn't.
and I told him it's probably a warp or maybe a misalignment of the flap, something like
Probably it's
that.
all almost is or both or both
What's that?
or both.
Okay.
So check your wing, make sure your wing is straight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then after that, and actually can check that the way kind of roundabout it. If your flaps is dead 0 0, right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's straight, is not warped, it's a flat
Yep.
flaps, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, that means probably you have a warp in a wing, or there might be a third thing that to be checking there. Sometimes you have one flaps that's stiffer than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
When you deflect them, because the one that's less stiff, it is gonna uh, warp a little bit, right?
Okay.
And it's gonna warp a little bit more than the other one. Those are some ghosts that you can start chasing around, right? So
Yep.
you look on the ground, everything is straight, the wing is straight, everything is nice. You put it up in the air and it flies like that. You go like, what is going on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely like a ghost, right? So I had that happening to me. And actually, what happens is one of the flaps was very soft. You can be soft wood and it's going to warp very easily, and
Mm-hmm.
the other one might be a hardwood, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you can
Mm-hmm.
imagine the hardwood is be more efficient. But
Yep.
no, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. What I'm saying, forget that. No, forget that. So
Yep.
so so what you're looking in normal flight, if these are the lines, you are here, right? The
Mm-hmm.
wing is
Mm-hmm.
down, right? So you have
Yep.
good line tension because the plane wants to fly away from you, right?
Yep.
When you
Uh-huh.
go inverted, you're
Mm-hmm.
like this. Now it wants to come on
Mm-hmm.
you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
in other words, the in normal flight, your outboard wing is down. So you need
Mm-hmm.
to get your outboard uh, either you have a warp in a wing, so you want to take the warp out by adding some incidence a little bit. Just take the twist out of it, or you can lowering the outboard flaps. Is going to bring the wing back to level.
Okay.
Hey, thank you, Tryon, and welcome.
Thank you, Tryon.
Coming in, Tryon. And let me get you guys caught up. Hey, Joe, Gilbert, and Ed, how you guys doing?
Doing great.
Hey, look at that.
Thanks for coming in. So what we're talking about is caffeine. He took out his plane, and before he used to fly at 4.8 or faster lap times. He put the stock muffler on, and it slowed the lap times to 5.5. Before, he didn't notice that he had unequal line tension when he flew inside maneuvers and outside maneuvers. They seem to be the same at a faster lap time. But now that's at 5.5, he's seeing the asymmetry in line tension. It's looser on outsides.
Yeah.
And we're thinking that's probably a warp or a bent flap or something.
Top heavy can do that. But flaps a good that's a good place to look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it possible? The power drop. Is it because the power drop?
No.
Well, your lap time slowed down, and so now you have less centrifugal force keeping the plane away from you. The plane does not have centrifugal force working for you.
When you the slower you fly, the more you find the flaws.
Absolutely.
I see.
Yeah. But if you have like a perfectly trimmed plane, you can really fly it slow.
I see. That's
for
good.
a vector flying at 5.5, it's kind of slow.
Yep.
I think vector, if I was guessing, usually a 60 size plane, 5.3s are very comfortable. A 40 size plane is more than a 5.1s, 5.2s.
Yep.
If not 5.0s, but it's between 5.0s and 5.2, somewhere over there.
I see. All right.
Yeah, this is actually a good thing, caffeine. You find out what's wrong with your plane, or so you put it in this optimal window. Once you can fly at slow as well as fast, you're going to have a well-trimmed plane.
What's really cool about this is that he notices it.
Yes.
It means his hand is forming. He's feeling the plane as he flies it. Very important.
That's very good, because some novice or beginner pilots don't realize that, and they go out and do something and they crash their plane, not knowing that the problem was the lines got slack.
Yep.
So they were clueless. So that's good. That's a very good point.
Another thing that I forgot to mention, that I also removed some of the wingtip weight. Could that be one of the reason?
I think
it would fly high both ways then, son. The wing would be flying high both ways, inverted and upright. If you're light tip.
All right.
No, because isn't it the other way around, Joe?
If you're light on
flight, the outboard wing would be down, right?
Lightweight, outboard wing up. Lines are pulling the airplane down.
Oh yeah. Or if it's lightweight, yes, you're right about that. But if it's wingtip heavy, is opposite.
Yes, heavy is down both ways.
Yes.
What you said's right. It's probably, I would lock the elevators and neutral 3 or 4 sticks, get instance meters, level the airplane, and run it out the flaps and see what it shows you with instance meter or sticks. You could even take sticks and tape them on the flaps, and then pull the flaps. If the sticks are all even on both wings, sticks, their curve look like that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is each flap, this is another flap. If they're true, they'll be go up and down together. If they're not, like this.
Yes, that's right.
3 or 4 sticks each side will tell you that quick.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Now you got some advice from Joe Gilbert's made the world team. All right.
That's nothing.
Also, Tryon is world champion, not world, but the national champion, Romania. And he also won the nationals as an advanced pilot.
He flew in the world team too.
That's right. The different
Yeah,
country. Yes.
that's right.
Let me see what you got there. Try and mimic it big. And hi, Mark Wise. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, man.
We're making progress on the.
Yeah, you are. It's looking nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Wow. That is pretty. That is really pretty, Tryon.
Yeah.
Well done, young man.
That is really pretty. Wow.
Yeah.
So your Padawan did all the put on the monocoat. You did all the iron and everything.
Yeah, he does a lot of it. I mean, this flops are done by him. I mean, it's like it's as good as a job as anybody there.
Yeah, that's definitely did a great job with the. What kind of
no
hinges are
bubbles,
those?
nothing.
Are those barrel hinges or what?
Huh?
Are those barrel hinges on the flaps?
No, I'm gonna put the Kevlar hinges in this plane.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the hinges in. We're getting ready for the final assembly now.
I was like, man, those are tight. There's hardly any gap. That was really nice. That looks good.
Yeah.
What's this model called again?
Oh, it's the Spirit of Saginaw.
Very nice looking plane.
So you can see the battery compartment.
Yes, looks really nice.
Look at it here.
Yeah, very nice.
Really nice.
Very nice. Wow. That is great. So the landing gear, is this going to be fuselage mounted landing gear?
Tricycle.
Bicycle?
I see.
Yes.
Wow, that's going to be neat.
It's gonna look like jetish, in a
Yeah.
like a jet plane.
Short tail T-38.
Yep.
Wow, that is nice. That looks really good. This is his first plane too, right? Boy, that's gonna be wow.
Yeah, I mean,
I love the scoops you put in there. I'm sure that's stiffening that fuselage right up.
no, they're actually not stiffening at all. Look at that. They're hollow.
No, I mean, but they stiffen the fuselage.
It should. There's a cavity around it, like a shell. It ought to help a little.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, but it's electric, so we don't really care about the stiffness too much. If yours IC, then I would worry about the vibrations.
I'd worry about this twisting of the tail.
Yeah, the twisting the tail. I think what you have there was going to limit the twisting the tail.
Oh, you're talking about this part here.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, yes, yeah, that will, yeah. That definitely will.
Okay, I was wondering what you was talking about. And he was wondering what I was talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about, what do you call those? I was calling them scoops. Isn't that the right name?
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. I like it.
Very nice, Tryon. Wow.
Mhm.
So we have a carbon rod in here. It's a nice fin on the bottom. So the idea is like from the bottom, if you look at it, it's kind of like that. So it's all white.
Yeah.
And if you flip to the top, actually no. Yes, but there is an the F-20 that is has this paint scheme. I think it's a NASA plane. An F-20. I can find some. That was our inspiration for the paint job. But what I'm thinking right now, it kind of the wing is screaming for something.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's just overpowering everything else.
Yeah.
So since I have this this steam on the fuselage, it's like a stripe here and one like that here.
Right.
I'm gonna do the same thing on the wings. I'm just gonna put like a stripe here and one that goes like this and just switches forward.
Very nice.
Kind of copy and paste on the fuselage and transpose it to the wing, but switching the colors at the same time.
Right.
And I'm thinking about I'm gonna leave the elevator all red, just like this.
Looks great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good.
Really looks good.
I mean, he's very patient. He did an amazing job on this player. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah. Try to help him as much as possible. The wing is, I mean, if you look at the wing is just so well done. I mean, just like you can show justice, but look at that.
Looks good.
The joints, and even the joints, you can even see the joints on a trailing edge. I mean, it's a
Wow.
beautiful made wing.
Yes, looks good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna fly great.
I think so too. I was thinking the same thing. That's great for his first plane, and of course you'll probably fly it first, make sure everything is all right, and
yeah, I'll trim it for him and get it, as good of a trim as possible. We're running a badass 3515. I think it's 900 kV on 4S. We're gonna swing like we're gonna sport a 10-inch 10.6 prop on it. 2-blade. Made by Badass, and we're just buying now 40 amps ESC. We did test the motor on the ground on my test stand. We put a 10.6 on it. We checked the amps, how many amps is pulling on the ground. It's pulling about 30 amps, 34 amps at maximum RPM, which when you're gonna flat out with everything that it's got, right?
okay.
So we go with the 40 amps ESC. Since we size it up, we know exactly what we need. In all reality, in the air, you're gonna see less. We did buy from Control. Was it Control? No, Circuit Flyer. We bought his timer. It's the climb and dive timer.
Okay. All right.
Yep. I'm willing to give it a try. It looks good. I love the idea of being able to program it with Bluetooth on your phone.
Yeah.
So you just open up an app and turn the timer on. You put in the programming mode, like touch it 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it goes in programming mode. And you look it on your cell phone, on your Bluetooth. Click, 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 click. You just do your adjustments, whatever you need, and off you go. That timer has a sensor in which it senses the RPM of the motor. So you do not program the ESC, but the timer automatically regulates the motor.
Wow.
It's a feedback, like a KR timer has some features in it like that. And but this one does it too, and it has a little accelerometer. It might give you a little boost when you go up, and a little power off when as you come down, which is nice. So I think we have very solid equipment in the plane. The plane is well built. We didn't cut any corners on doing anything on it. We just did the best job we could possibly do with it.
That is really good.
And yeah, and he really likes it.
I bet. I can't imagine. My first plane was not nearly that pretty, so that's great.
And this is not finished, but if you notice, like I have a black stripe here.
Yeah.
That's gonna be on this edge too. It's gonna be on those 2 edges here.
Nice. Yeah, it's gonna make it pop.
So it's gonna be some edging over here. And obviously when I put the red on the wings, they're gonna have a black striping on the edge of it too. Just to bring it all together. Like if you have a plane, you have a theme, right? Of some sort, right? And now if I'm really fanatic, I can put some white stripes here on an elevator. Just kind of flip-flop it, if it makes sense.
It does, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Hey,
so
Ryan, I'm gonna invite some other people into the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let me see here. So Joe, what you been up to? Joe Gilbert, what you been up to?
Oh, I flew Saturday, just flying and flying. We're playing, working, figuring things out. Yada, yada, yada. It's all good.
That's good. That's good. So how many reps, how many flights did you put up?
Oh, this 6 Saturday.
All right.
There's enough. I can't. Some people can go out and fly. Go ahead.
Get ready for the team trials. what kind of repetitions you're going to do per day?
I don't know. I whatever the wind allows and time and stuff. The closer it gets, the more I'll fly, I think. But we went out Saturday and it's 102 in the afternoon or something. But with the clubhouse there, you can go out and fly and go back in. Go out and fly and go back in, cool off.
Mhm.
We'll see.
We'll see. Very good. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it, Joe. Thank you so much. And Ed, how you doing, Ed? What you been up to? I actually was watching a video. Will Davis had a video, and I was watching, and then it automatically replayed to another video, and I saw you and your wife and everybody in some room dining during your event.
Yeah, that was really nice. We had a great crowd. Sorry, I got a dog bothering me. We got a great crowd, great support from everybody. I really thank them. Great meal afterwards on Friday night, and wanted to say thanks to everybody. But let me tell you, it was a tough couple weeks. And then the following week, I was working on getting stuff ready for a big fly-in where I was selling a bunch of stuff. And so last week, I was just trying to do nothing and recover and that. So, now it's time for Ed to start doing something that Ed wants to do for a couple months, hopefully for a couple months and stuff.
Sounds good. And
Yeah.
what is that?
I'm sorry?
What is that Ed wants to do for a couple of months?
Fly.
All right.
Yeah. I've been going through and organizing stuff and labeling boxes. So when I grab an airplane, I can grab a box and I don't have to worry about, do I have everything I need for that aircraft and stuff. So I've been sitting in the air conditioning and doing that, and really excited to do something. And but boy, it was a great event, and I thank everybody for the support out there, and glad you got to see some of the videos and stuff.
Yeah. Will Davis does a really good job. His videos are real nice. Good quality videos. Yeah,
we had some great flight instructors.
Yes.
A couple of little ones and a couple of senior instructors.
Yes, I saw Mark Wise in the image as well in the video.
Yeah. If anybody's interested, if you go on the internet, you can type in you can type in Connect Bridgeport, West Virginia, and then type in at the search, type in Carl Hopkins, and there are 2 sets of photos that they put in for the event and stuff. So it's pretty interesting to see what all was going on and stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but did you get the AMA magazine or the AMA magazine for this month?
Yeah.
Not yet, not me.
Yeah. Did you check out District 3's report from Mark Radcliffe?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's most of it is covering the Brodak control line event.
Okay, I'll check it out when I get it.
Yeah. So that was nice to see.
Very good. Well,
Ed, can you put that? Can you put that link in the? Probably share with everybody that link.
Okay.
Copy and paste it in a chat.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
I will attempt to do that while we're doing this.
Yeah. So down below where it says chat, it's in my screen. It's down below a little bit to the right.
Yeah, I can do that, but I gotta have to figure out how to go in and get the link, because normally
just open a new page and in your internet, in your browser, and look for that link.
So I'll minimize you guys for a while then.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'll minimize so I can go to it and that. So I'll attempt to do it here in just a few minutes.
No problem, man. If you can't do it, no worries.
Yeah.
Let me get Mark Wise's attention. And by the way, I see Stuart, and I see you, Gordon, and I see you, Lynn Burrell. Thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate it. Sure. And I got to get to the chat box. I'm a little bit behind on the chat. But what's happening with you, Mark?
Ed took a little bit of my thunder away, but I wanted everyone to look at model aviation I'll tell you, for a lot of reasons. One, is we always hear there's nothing about control line in model aviation. And
Yeah.
normally that's true, but I want to bring your attention to page 12. And on page 12
All right.
is Win Paul and his book.
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice.
So that was a nice start. And then, as Ed pointed out, in the district reports, before I even go there, page 87 with a combat plane in his hand
Howard Rush.
is Howard Rush.
See Howard Rush. Very good,
Oh,
Howard.
Yep.
And Rudger.
Yeah.
Mark
I'm
Rudger.
sorry. Yeah.
Mark was in there.
And
Who's in that
then
photo? Who else is in that photo, Mark?
who is?
Who else is in that photo? I see Howard Rush, but who are the other two gentlemen?
Let's see. Howard Rush, Mark Rudner, and Gene Pape, P-A-P-E.
All right.
Okay. And then District 3, Mark Radcliffe just did a tremendous job as was just brought up about Brodak and control line. And remember, he was a four-time world team RC pattern flyer who's come back to control line. And then if you flip the page over, in District 4, you'll see a picture of my buddy Will Davis.
Yeah.
And the whole article, I wrote the article for District 4, I was asked to, and it was about getting kids into model aviation. And this happened to be about Triple Tree and Joe Knoll. So I was just tickled going through this. There were about five control line related articles, and some of that is coincidental and some of it is politicking. But
A ludocratic.
it's all good.
That's all good. Thank you very much.
And by the way, Mark Radcliffe he's been heavily practicing with his Nobler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very
Yeah,
good.
good.
Very good. You guys, I got to stop and talk. Let me mention what's going on in the chat box. Marcel Legrand says, "Hi, Charles, and everyone at Stunt School." All right. Thank you, Marcel Legrand. And then Daniel Berry Sport Highlights says, "Yo." And then Gary Sinclair, who's a member of our YouTube channel. He's also the monitor. He says, "Like provided." Thank you very much, Gary. Speaking of likes, we have 14 likes right now and 19 concurrent viewers. So if you haven't smashed that like button, please do that. It won't cost you a penny. And then Tom Rammel, he provides with a like. Thank you, Tom. And then Marcel Legrand went on to say, "Very nice, Tryan." And we got a super chat. Super chat from Making Small Airplanes.
Oh, I thought it was the whipped cream.
Fantastic. I haven't had a super chat in a long time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. $5 from Making Model Airplanes. Thank you very much. And then we have Brent Williams says ahoy. And we're all caught up on the chat box. And again, Marcel Legrand said, "Very nice, Tryan." And so we're all caught up. And then Stuart, where are you at? Stuart Morris, I see his beautiful tool cabinet. Yeah, that is nice. So what you been up to, Stuart? Did I catch you at a bad time? You know what? We'll go on to Gordon Delaney. Hey, Gordon.
Hi there.
Hey, how you doing, Gordon? I was thinking about you earlier today.
Well, sorry I missed Friday night, but my daughter called and we don't talk that long, but I talked all the way through the bench. And then when he hung up, I went and see if there was people after the original talk show. And I ran into Tryan.
Yeah, Tryan, yeah.
Yeah. And so we gabbed for about another hour and a half.
Nice. Oh, That is always very nice. I remember having some very nice conversations with Cheyenne
Yeah,
in the after party. Learned a bunch.
yeah, after party. That's what I was trying to think of. We're the only two left.
That's
So,
okay. You guys
it-
closed down the bar.
I got my fillets in, and oh, the wall stucco that I used to blend the fairings and stuff in. I got that all filled in. Now all I have to do is just sand them out, and I'll be ready to put my rudder on.
Very, very nice.
So, is Jim Hoffman there tonight?
Not so far. And we exchanged a couple emails today. I mean, I'm not today, but I saw them today. He sent it to me a couple days ago. And I told him thank you for the email. It's about the Pathfinder, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he wanted some information on these leather fillets, how much they weighed when I put them on.
Right.
And what about Phil? Is Phil?
Phil usually comes in later.
Oh, because he sent me a tube of Ambroid.
That's right. You received it?
I did. And I really, really wanted to thank him. So when he comes in, I might chime in there on him.
Oh, no problem. I'm sure he is glad that he's able to give you something you need, so that's awesome.
And Roger Kramer's been here taking up my paint stand for a week. And this
Wow.
Mustang is on. Charles, you're not going to believe it. It is absolutely incredible.
Wow. Well, hopefully he'll come in one night and show it to us.
Well, when he gets the ink lines on, I'm going to sneak it up here before he takes it home.
Oh,
There
that'd
you
be
go.
great. I'd love to see it.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And the detail. He's copying a full-size Mustang. It's got the blue nose on it and the stripes on the wing. Oh, yeah.
You know whose design? Is this Pat Johnson or someone else's design?
Roger Kramer's design.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Well, what is he going to use for power?
Electric.
Nice.
It's got dihedral in it. It's got the scoop on the bottom. Like I said, the invasion stripe stuff's all on it. I mean, he's knocking it out of the ballpark, what he's doing. Today, we had to cover up part of the white and the stripes where your landing gear goes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to spray some silver there. So it was all one color because he's putting the zinc chromate doors on it. So it looks like you're looking inside the airplane.
Wow.
Yeah,
He really is going all out.
he is.
Yeah, look for it. Is he going to go to Las Vegas? Is he going to be there this year?
I think he is. Yep.
Well, I'll definitely see it in person then.
Oh, yeah. Boy, I tell you, take your camera with you.
Hmm.
If
I
it
will.
flies as good as it look, it's going to be awesome.
Now, what does Roger fly? What level does he fly at?
I think intermediate. Maybe if he flew advanced, he'd probably be at the bottom of the pack. RC now, that's a different story. RC, he was fourth in pattern years back. But I guess he flew control line when he was a kid. And he had a winder and a couple other airplanes. And when he moved to Salt Lake, we reintroduced him to control line, and he's just going bonkers.
He
You know,
took
we-
to
we
it like a
built-
duck to water.
Yeah, but we built my two Tonys, his and mine, in my basement, and they were beautiful airplanes.
Hey,
Phil
sure.
Granderson had them there at the Clovis contest. Well, wasn't Clovis anymore, is it? Anyway, mine was number one, and he was about a half an airplane back as number two.
Yeah, I have pictures of the Golden State Stunt Championships. That's the first time I met Roger. I had met you before,
Yeah.
at Whittier Narrows, I think. But I first time I met Roger, and we both flew in intermediate. This is years ago. I
Yeah.
remember flying against that Tony. And
Oh yeah. Well, I think he flew that at the Northwest this year in the intermediate.
oh, I haven't been to Northwestern ever. I'm looking forward. That's one of my contests I hope to go to someday. But
You know, we try to coach him, and I don't think he likes being coached. He just kind of says, I know, then walks off.
oh yeah, well, he's that's too bad.
He's
Because
an
if I had a chance to be coached by you, I mean, I would be like, yes, Gordon. All right, I'll do it.
oh,
I'll work on it. I'm working on it. I'll do it next flight. I'll do it.
you know Dave Saban, don't you?
I know him. Yes.
Okay, well, at Clovis one year, he come over and he was already through first round, but he says, Gordy, he says, what's his friend's name down there in San Diego?
Bob Brooks.
Bob Brooks. He said, I don't think he can help me anymore. I think he's sees certain things, but could you come over and coach me on a flight? I hate doing that when I'm competing. But
Oh,
I
I
said,
bet.
okay. So I watched his pattern, and after the flight, I told him the things I saw. Well, he went over on his last flight and corrected everything I told him and tied my score.
Yeah.
I says, that's it, Dave. No more coaching for you.
You're on your own.
Yeah, but he was good because he listens.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely into it. Just like some of us who are really into it. We take to coaching very seriously and want to become the best we possibly can.
Yeah.
And but Bob Brooks, I mean, coached him up, pretty far up. Yeah, maybe he couldn't take him any further, but
Right.
Bob Brooks used to speak into a recorder, and he would speak into it during the whole flight, and then he would just hand the recorder over to Dave Saban, and then Dave would just listen to it and hear the critiques, maneuver by maneuver, and he did that every single flight for years. I mean, I don't know how long they've been doing it prior, but I hung around them for at least, I don't know, 10 years or so, and it seemed like the whole time Bob Brooks was doing that same regimen.
Yep.
Speaking into the recorder, and then Dave Saban would get the playback, and that might be like 3, 4, 5, 6 flights every time he went out. So he got a lot of coaching from Bob Brooks.
At the Clovis meet, I don't know, did you ever see his Tony that he built for my plans?
Yeah, actually, I saw him when he was building it, because we used to have club meetings at Bob Brooks' house.
Yeah. Well,
And I remember he pulled a lot of canopies just to get that canopy right.
yes, he sent me the mold. But anyway, he was afraid to fly it, and Dave Saban come over and says, he is a nervous wreck about flying this. Will you test fly it for him? I go, oh, God. And I says, I didn't bring my Tony lines. Well, if we can find some lines and a handle and fuel, will you test fly it? Yeah, I guess. Well, I flew 2 flights on it. And John, and I told him what I thought of the airplane. And John come over and he says, what's really wrong with it? And I says, John, I wouldn't tell him it was a great airplane if there's something wrong with it. I would tell him. I says, if I flew mine and flew his, other than the canopy detail, I couldn't tell you which airplane I was flying.
Wow.
It flew exactly like mine did. Very positive, nice corners, tracked. He did an excellent job building it.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. The color scheme was really neat. And
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think he lost it because the engine flamed out during the maneuver and he crashed the plane. But he used
I didn't know why.
the same wing though to build his P-40.
Exactly.
Which is really a nice plane. I mean, I have pictures of that as well. Yeah, Bob Brooks is a very good builder, and yeah, he would get really nervous. Some of us have that that issue where we get extremely nervous flying,
Yes.
being judged, and it's something it's not all, but some of us have to overcome that nervousness.
Yeah, I think Dave Saban's got that airplane now.
Which one?
The one he built after the Tony,
Oh, the P-40?
the P-40.
Really? Okay. I talked to Bob Brooks maybe once or so a month. So I don't know. He hasn't mentioned that, but he possibly could. But I doubt it. I really seriously doubt it.
Is he back in the States now?
Yeah, he always goes in and out because anyways, his wife has to go to Israel, so many months out of the year, so they do that.
Oh, maybe. Okay, I thought he stayed over there.
No, it's just
Okay. So he
somebody-
probably still has the airplane then.
yeah, I think he's hanging on to it.
Beautiful job.
Beautiful. I hope to. He showed it one year. I mean, he came in, a year or so ago, and he showed the plane. We all saw it. Who was on the show?
Yep.
Anyways, let me get back to Stuart. Hey, Stuart, that plane looks pretty. What is that you have on your bench there? And hi, Sparky, I see you. Stuart is the guest that's missing in action most of the time tonight. Let me get to Lynn Burrell and then Sparky. Hey, Lynn, what you been up to? And you're muted, by the way, Lynn.
There we go. Yeah, I've been painting my new airplane. I'm trying to get it done.
Oh, good. So the weather's cooperating with you. That's good.
Yeah, the weather's cooperating. Today I got the canopy sprayed and I got some of the trim sprayed up. So yeah, it's coming along. Hopefully another week or so and we'll have it in the air. Because I'm only
Which
painting
model
the
is this?
fuse, the rest impact.
Nice.
I've got the airplane's basically done except for putting the trim sheet on the wings and tails and painting the fuse. So the fuse is all prepped and everything. I'm just doing the colors now. So I masked off the canopy and masked off all the stripes on the fuse and then masked off the rest of the airplane so that I'm only painting those areas on the fuse. So then once that's done, then I will peel all the tape off and then I will mask over what I've painted so that I'm not adding piles of paint to the fuselage.
Right. I remember Wendy doing that.
I'll back mask everything the way Wendy did. So I do all my paint work the way he did, but I just can't make it as pretty.
On the trim sheets on the wing, when you put the trim on, do you treat the edges a certain way? Do you? I try to cut off all the points and make them kind of rounded, and sometimes I'll use trim.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I do not have a point anywhere. There's no points. Even on the edges, what I do is I make a very small radius on all the corners. That way nothing lifts up. There's nothing more aggravating than building a nice airplane than putting trim sheets down and then the corners all peel up when you clean the airplane or do anything to it. I hate that. So I never have a point anywhere. Nothing has a point on it.
Now, do you treat the edges, that even the straight edges along the long seams, do you treat those so they don't lift?
Treat them?
Yeah.
No, I never do anything. I never do anything to them. I just make sure that everything's nice and clean before I put them down.
All right.
Like I give the wings and the tails and everything a really good wipe down and make sure there's no dust and no crap on no grease or nothing on the wings and tails before I put the trim sheets down. And I cut them where I want them and I make little marks with a marker, like with a Sharpie where I want corners of stuff to go. And then I just wipe it off with a bit of alcohol after I put it down.
Now,
That way I get everything where I want it.
Do you float it on with Windex, the trim sheets?
No, I just hold them where I want them and I do it once, bang, done. I don't float anything on.
Okay.
So far, so good. I mean, the odd time I've had to peel something up and redo it, but I just put a heat gun to it and it peels up real easy. Take my heat gun, run it over a couple of passes and then peel it up, comes off pretty easily.
Now, are you painting this? Len, is this a mask or trim? I mean, are you
Just trim sheets.
Oh,
Just regular trim sheets that you buy at the hobby shop.
oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I don't use masks or any of that stuff. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So I'm doing it the old fashioned way. I do it all with a ruler and an X-Acto knife and cut everything out carefully. And even the corners, I don't have any fancy tools. I just take a pair of scissors and take the point off. That's all I do.
Hmm.
There's nothing fancy about it. I do everything the old way because I don't know any of the modern ways of doing stuff.
Hey, Len, so there's really no point to how you do things, right?
No point to how I do things at all, Mark. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got your point, Mark.
I get the point. Yeah,
Man, this show
I
is,
get the
show is
point.
becoming pointless, I tell you.
Yeah.
That's absolute. Everything I do is absolute. That's exactly what it is. Everything I do is absolutely pointless.
No,
And you know
no
what?
point. No point in doing it.
There's people in my clubs that would tell me that too. Everything you do is just pointless. That's awesome.
Very good.
Oh,
Let
boy.
me bring in by matter of fact, in the chat box we have old control line pilot who's also a member of our YouTube channel. I think he's one of our big tippers, as a matter of fact. Bob Whitley, he says, thumbs up, given worked late again and shutting down early. Hopefully we'll visit you Friday. Thank you very much, Bob. And then he goes on to say, thumbs up given, worked late again, shutting down early. Hopefully visit you Friday. So he must be tired. He typed it in twice. He must have fell asleep the first time and he goes, did I put it in? So anyways, that's all in fun, Bob. I'm just having fun with you.
All
Then
good.
Daniel Barry Sports Highlights says, hey. So let me make you big, Sparky. I see you got your Viper. And I haven't been watching your videos lately because I've been so busy, but I saw you've been doing a lot of detail work.
Oh, gorgeous.
Got the wingtip weight box in today and working on the molded bottom. It's 23 ounces.
Wow.
That's the same weight my new Pathfinder is right now. And it's a profile.
Yeah, this is 23 ounces as it sits here. Well,
Towels that weigh that much.
it's actually 22 ounces, but I'm adding an ounce for the cowl because that's what they normally are, is an ounce. Let's see here.
Nice work, Sparky.
Very nice.
Love that tail.
Wow.
That rudder shape is really nice, really elegant.
Like a
Standing
lower,
work, Sparky.
like a lowered 49 Mercury.
Beautiful.
I working on the nose, getting that, it takes me several times to get these things sanded in right. It's close now, but it'll take a few more times. I got it all hollowed out. I would have been building these before if I could have found that beam wood.
That's beautiful.
That's what put the kibosh on this airplane, is no beam.
Very nice. Looks really nice.
Thank you.
I even liked how you rounded behind the weight box, how you put a curve there. That's
Well,
pretty.
if you don't do that, the covering will pucker.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you did that. That's very nice.
That is just outstanding.
Can't have no cover puckers. I added some more pieces in here that I really don't need, but why not? They're not full formers. They're just 3/32 cross pieces going across there to stiffen that up. So by tomorrow we'll have a tail wheel in it and I'll have this block fitted on there. This bottom piece. I don't know what this weighs. Let's see. I think it's about 8 or 9 grams. 10 grams.
Wow.
Got my best wood in it.
Very nice. Very, very nice, Sparky. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
14 days old. Well, 2 weeks old today.
Wow.
Nice. Very
Amazing.
nice.
I really like the looks of your hinges, Sparky.
Yeah, they're just it's 1950s technology. The story behind those was we were standing out at the field and Ron O'Toole was telling me about this stupid hinge, this what I'm doing here. That was 20 years before it caught on, and I was sitting watching television because he didn't draw me a picture, he just discussed it. I was sitting watching television about 10 years ago, and I got up, I go, hey, I know exactly what he's talking about. And I ran upstairs. 20 years later, I ran upstairs and made a mock-up one, and it worked. So that's,
Yeah. One of those aha moments. I understand that.
but my brain took 20 years to engage.
And how
At least it did. That's
yeah, that's
a good
right,
thing.
Joe. That's a good point. At least you did finally figure it out, what he was
I
talking
agree.
about.
Because
Yeah,
it
that's
was
great.
such a bizarre explanation what he was talking about. If he would have just told me it looks like a lollipop, I'd have had it. He didn't tell me that.
Right. Hey, guess what? We got another super chat. And this is also again from Making Model Airplanes. So we got two $5 super chats. And the first one, I forgot to say what he said. He said, thumbs up from Washington State. Thank you, Making Model Airplanes. And then this last $5 super chat, he said, Viper looks great! Exclamation mark.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So we're all caught up on the chat box. And so Gordon, are you familiar with his with Sparky's hinges?
No, I'm not. I can see they look really nice, so very impressed.
He doesn't need to seal them because they're shaped like a lollipop and it goes back inside the trailing edge of the wing.
Here's my hinge right here, Gordon.
Make it big here. 1 second, Sparky.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of like Keith Trostle's setup, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know what Keith works and does.
So
Keith uses something different. He uses those
Robarts.
Yeah, those Robart pin hinges. Yeah, that's not the same.
well, same idea.
This
Sparky, do you bush it with a piece of brass tubing?
yes.
Okay.
This here has a pin
Yeah.
on the end here. You can slide out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've done that on my RC planes.
It's
Yep.
got a carbon fiber rod inset in the flap. It's a little tiny, like a 16th carbon fiber rod, and this is a 32 thousandths wire that runs in that carbon rod. It resets it when it has to be straight because these are all in line out with that carbon tube. The hinges, the horns are set in a set of hinges, so they're all in line.
I like that.
That's great.
Everything's got to be perfect. I mean, it has to be. It's in line.
Oh, yeah.
So that wire goes all the way through the wing?
It goes through
Through the leading edge.
the leading edge of the flap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all one piece that goes all the way down the flap.
Yeah, it goes to right here. Well, about right here.
Where's the carbon fiber tube lay, Sparky?
It's
On the
in.
wing or the flap?
No, let me show you. I'll get it. I got a flap here.
If I understand them correctly, that is your
It's
tube
ins-
that you feed the wire through,
Right.
so it helps
It
with
must be
alignment.
inset in the flap, it looks like to me.
Yeah, it would
yeah,
be
exactly.
in the
That would
leading
make
edge
the
of the.
flap, that'd make the flap super stiff too.
There.
It's superb.
Yeah, you would.
Here's a
Look
flap
at
that's
that.
set up. You see the tube, the carbon?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You
That's
cut a
gonna make it
valley.
super stiff.
You cut a
And then you-
valley in this, and you inset the tube 3/16 of an inch back, because that's where it pivots 3/16 of an inch back. Then you stuff it with balsa wood and
Yeah.
hit it with CA.
That's
and then,
brilliant. That's gonna make it stiff, Sparky.
well, yeah, it's pretty stiff.
And that tube's gonna help it when you give it control. It's not gonna be twist as easy. It's gonna want to go.
And they're light. I try to make my flaps. I didn't have real good wood this time, and they were an ounce, 9.95, almost an ounce. And that's way too heavy for flaps. I like them a half ounce. So that's why I cut them out and ribbed them up.
That is outstanding.
I think it's a good idea.
You can't, I don't know. Now, Bob Hunt says that he builds with, heavy wood, thinner gauge. That may work well and good for sheeting wings, but I got to have 1/8" ribs here or 3/32, but this is the first time I used 1/8. But it better be light wood. You can't use heavy wood. I mean,
Nope.
you just can't build light airplanes with heavy, not like this with heavy wood, but you could do a foam wing with heavier wood. I could see how that would be okay.
So there's only 3 hinges in your flaps, and how many in your elevators?
2.
Only 2.
Oh,
See, Ron told me years ago, you got to leave parts off. In order to make them light, you got to leave parts off, and he's exactly correct. Less of what you got there.
Very good. I have a comment in the chat box from Jim Hoffman. He says, hello all, cannot join tonight. Light sent. Thank you very much, Jim. That's Jim Hoffman. Gordon, you was asking me about Jim Hoffman, right?
Yeah, I wanted to tell him about those leather fillets.
Well, if he's listening, you can tell him you want to know how much they weighed, right?
Well, putting the leather fillets in with the glue and putting the sheetrock molding to ferrum, and I forgot to reweigh it then, and I went ahead and did the sheetrock fillets on the tail, and it was a total of 3/4 ounce.
Don't you like Superfill, Gordon?
I've never used it. I just, I've used leather since 1959.
My best advice to you is Superfill, because it's half that weight. The whole quart doesn't weigh
Super.
an ounce or what. I don't know. It's more than an ounce, but it's super light.
Super Phil is super. I agree, Sparky. It's outstanding. That's all I use now. Super
It ain't-
Phil.
You make a good point, Lynn.
It ain't
it's good
like
stuff.
it ain't like epoxylite.
Not a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Epoxylite was brutal. That stuff oh my God.
Very good at the Barty grinder.
Yeah. You didn't get it
was-
laid down perfect, you were in trouble.
You weren't sanding that off anytime soon.
Mm-mm. Sand your wing into.
Well, I see Stuart moving around in his shop. Hey, Stuart, can you unmute your mic and tell me what you're working on?
Len, I'm not working on the twister.
No, you're not. You're working on something else. What did you do to the Pathfinder?
Nothing. I'm doing a little adjustment. Brad and I were talking about it, so I'm putting on a lighter muffler.
This blue plane is your
Fair enough.
Pathfinder?
Yeah,
All right.
just putting another muffler on lighter.
Well, you got Gordon Delaney here, the designer of the Pathfinder. If you have any questions or concerns, that's the one I would ask. That and John Miller.
Well, we were playing with it because it wasn't turning fast enough. So we're lightening up in the front end.
There you go.
Where's the CG on it?
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere.
You're
Well,
gonna
pick
tell
it
me-
up and let's find out.
Can you
How
point
far
it
from the
out?
leading edge?
Can you point out the CG?
Do you know what it is? In inches or metric?
Yeah, inches would be good. Yeah,
The
it's
CG would be almost on the spar.
Okay,
So
I'll
that's,
check that again.
that's almost 3 inches back from the leading edge.
Yeah, okay, thanks. It's good to kind of know.
Check it and see where yours is at. We want to know. We're dying to know.
yeah. Let's see where
Well,
it's
I
at.
got the muffler off it now, and
It'll probably be just right now.
That was still to tell me where you need to go.
I'll let you know once I get the muffler on how we're doing. How's that?
Okay, do you know what the total weight is?
Nope. This was kind of hand-me-down, so I'm new to it, so
I see.
I'll put this on and I'll see how we balance out here once I get her on.
All right.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, I think everybody's had a chance now. So what else is there?
I don't know. Is Bart chimed in tonight?
No, that's interesting. No, Bart did not. He has not come in yet.
He probably fell asleep on the couch.
Old guys do that, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, I took a nap before I came into the show myself. Now, Jim Hoffman said my Predator fillets, super fill, weighed 10 grams. That's every fillet on the airplane.
Wow.
You got to try that stuff, Gordon.
Gordon, it sands as easy as 5-pound balsa.
Now that part I like.
But
Little late to rip them off though.
you don't have to even sand it if you get it smoothed out with alcohol real good. You just have to break the glaze on it, to get the paint to stick. It's great stuff. It's epoxy. It's good stuff.
I just love it. It's outstanding. I agree, Sparky.
That's pretty light. Wow. That's what happens when you're afraid to step into the modern world.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, Mark, I can tell Mark was thinking something to say.
Go, Mark, go. We're listening.
Yeah, I can see that grin on his face.
No, I saw a picture of you on a magazine cover, and you couldn't have been 25.
23.
Oh, you remember that?
I do.
It was a nice picture of you, and you're still a handsome man.
Well, I was back then. I don't know what happened to me.
No, it was a nice picture, and you were a good-looking guy.
Well, thank you. I'd be better looking now if I had some hair.
What was it a picture of? Was it of one of his twins or?
Yeah. It was down in Buckeye, Arizona in 1966.
Oh, I think I've seen that picture. Yeah, where you're almost your plane's almost as tall as you are, right?
It was taller. 6'4".
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's the that's
Two
the
bits?
much?
Pardon?
That's the too much?
Yeah.
Too much.
Now, the way that came about is my first wife and I moved to Sacramento. Well, her grandfather died, so we came back up to Salt Lake. I went into my old hobby shop. My buddy said, hey, let's go to Buckeye. And I says, all I have is a combat plane in my toolbox. He says, call Mark up, see if he'll loan you the twin. I says, Ralph, I says, all I got is my toolbox. I don't have any lines, don't have anything to fly with. And he said, call him up. I said, all right, I'll call him. Well, he's at work because he worked afternoon, so his wife called him. And he said, yeah, come and get it. Well, we went on and picked it up, and it was so filthy and right up castor oil. we laid a big blanket down in Ralph's living room and took a butter knife to cut the castor oil off the wings.
Wow.
So we spent about 2 hours just using Ajax to scrub all the grime and grit off it. Then we turned around and rubbed it out and waxed it. We had two of us working on it. And we got down about 11 o'clock, threw it in the Pontiac, and headed for Buckeye. And I put a couple flights on it with Hugh Reilly, and I told Jim Rhodes, I says, Mark's not going to be happy. And his wife says, I'm cutting his lines off and putting a hot rock on it. So I cut the lines off. And I thought, oh, wow, what a nicer airplane. And I ended up taking third. I know I wasn't supposed to fly in it. I wasn't even planning on doing anything with it other than just something to fly to enter, you know. And ended up just a couple points behind Bart Kopinski and Dick Williams.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Dale Willoughby took the picture, and then he sent a release form. I didn't know they had to do that, to put it on the cover of Flying Models.
Yep.
So I called Mark up and I says, we got a problem. He says, what's that? And he says, they want to publish that on the cover of Flying Models. He says, sign it. I says, you built the airplane. You did all the finish work. All I did is flew it. He says, I don't care. We don't get any recognition in Utah. Now you sign that and send it back to him. Well, when it came out, you know what the topic was at our club meeting? Builder of the model room. And that went
Here we
on.
go.
I bet you that went on for 30 minutes. And finally, Mark stood up, and he doesn't hold anything back. Well, kind of like Mark Wise, I guess. But anyway, he says, I told him to sign it. It was my airplane, and I thought it was a great idea. So why don't the rest of you blank shut up?
Good.
And boy, the meeting went dead quiet when they changed the subject. So, you know, I wasn't trying to take credit from Mark, and I had no idea they'd want to put a cover picture up there, especially with my little face on it. So that's how that picture came about and why I ended up flying an airplane down there. And like I say, it wasn't meant to be competitive or be anybody, just something to fly with them. So anyway, now you have the real story.
And this is Mark. What's Mark's last name?
Fechner. Mark Fechner.
Mark Fechner. I don't know who that is.
Fechnor. He passed away last year. Incredible builder and fast. And the way that come about, since we're talking about it, he drew the plans up in 1959. Well, sometime in 61, he showed it to a good friend who was a stunt flyer, Raul Alva. And he says, Mark, you'll never win anything with that airplane. It's too big. It won't be competitive. When you told Mark you couldn't be done, he'd do it. So he jumped on the bandwagon and started building. And by January, it was all, December of 1961 was at his wife's birthday party. And my first wife and I were just engaged, and they cleaned the table off and they brought that airplane out, everything but the nacelles. And we just ooh and awed. I mean, 6'4". And when everybody got through ooh and on, my fiance says, Mark, can I ask you a question? Yes. He says, what is it? Everybody looked at me. He says, you don't know what this is? No. Well, you're sure going to find out. He says, this is a model airplane. And she says, oh, he's going to give that up when we get married. Mark in his mouth. Don't bet on it.
The counselors are offering to speak to the students when needed.
That's nice.
So anyway, March of 1962, he test flew it. And it had tricycle landing gear, disc brakes for drums, or drum brakes. I'm sorry, not disc, but drum brakes. He'd turned them on a lathe. He was an awesome machinist. And he had all these little cables going to the landing gear and the nose wheel. And he started up, walk out the handle, and he'd hold full down. And you just let go of the airplane, walk off. And then he'd back off, full down, the airplane would take off. Well, it was kind of heavy, so he yanked all that stuff off it, took the nose wheel off, put a tail wheel on it, and that's the way it was when I flew it in Buckeye, as a tail dragger.
Very
And
nice.
then I built my own, made some changes, moved the canopy forward a little bit, narrowed the fuselage, lengthened the tail moment, shortened the nacelles.
Very good.
Okay.
Phil is here now. So
What plane was it?
Pardon?
What was the airplane?
The Too Much, the big blue and white twin.
Oh, I've got the plans to it. Even the plans are too much. My table's not big enough to unfold them.
Well, if you got plans, you probably got my plans, which is the one I built for myself.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, Phil, I wanted to thank you for that Ambroid.
You're more than welcome. I'm glad you could
Really
use it.
appreciated that. The fillets are all in.
Good deal. Glad it worked out for you.
and we also have Jim Hoffman here, Gordon.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Gordon. I had a little break in the action, so I can be here for about a half hour.
Well, you popped my bubble when you told me how much your fillets weigh.
Well, so I'm sorry. I'll send you some superfill if you want. What Sparky said is spot on. If you lay them in there nicely with alcohol, you're done. Come in and just break the glaze. And it doesn't sand as easy as balsa wood, but it sands easier than any fillet material I've ever used.
I think it sounds easy as balsa wood.
All right. But it's my go-to material, and it is light.
So do you
and it is blue.
The hobby shop, or do you have to order it from?
Order it from. I got it from Aircraft Spruce.
Oh, okay.
And you get a big, you get a big enough container that you don't go through it all at all. I gave mine to Callentine. He did his airplane with it, and I just got it back last week.
Oh, wow.
For you, Gordy, $30 will give you, well, it used to be 30. I don't know what it is now.
Yeah, it'll last you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But it's good stuff. Yeah, so it's about half the weight of the leather.
Oh, yeah.
This is a can of superfill right here. And then you got a white can that goes with it, half the size of this.
Half the size, yeah.
And this will give you, it's a lifetime supply for you. I mean, I go through it pretty quick, but.
Yeah, sure had that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They say it's got a shelf life, but boy, I've had mine for a long time.
Yeah, just turn it upside down. If it gives you any shit, just put it in the microwave 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Stir it up.
Yeah.
Don't burn yourself, because that one guy wanted to sue me for.
I already did that last week. Lit my hand on fire.
What did you do that for?
Well, it wasn't on purpose, except for my ex-brother-in-law do a brake job on his front disc brakes, and he needed to replace the flex line.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't get it loose, so I grabbed my torch and was heating up the steel line.
Okay.
And anyway, it softened the flex line from the caliper up to there, and it blew the line off. And with my torch there, it just lit it off.
Oh, boy.
So I yelled at my brother-in-law, says, throw me a towel or a rag. And he threw me a rag. Well, it was still spraying brake fluid out. And I stuck my hand in there and it sprayed all over my hand and lit my hand on fire. Then he threw me a big towel and I shoved that in there. I yelled at my brother, grab the fire extinguisher off my toolbox. And we got it put out, but I had some blisters on several of my fingers and the palm of my hand.
Good gracious.
Geez.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Probably haven't moved that fast in 10 years.
I understand that. Oh,
I
yeah.
know the feeling.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
So,
I
Phil,
went
what
to
you
the-
been up
Oh,
to,
what's
Phil?
that playing in the background?
Who, me?
It hasn't moved in 3 weeks.
No, it's finally ready to move. I'm putting it back together finally. It's got a nasty donkey ESC in it, and it fires up, runs the right direction, and everything looks right. It's got 9,800 RPM with a 10.6 3-blade master air screw prop on it. 10.6, 12.6 3-blade master air screw prop. And we were supposed to fly it in the morning, but we've got a lightning storm outside that I don't think we'll be going flying in the morning. Actually, tomorrow midday, because tomorrow morning I got to go to the doctor. I got a darn physical. But anyway, no problem.
What time does Mark Gerber usually come in?
He's usually here by now.
He's usually here by now, so I don't know why he's not in.
He sent me a hat and I wanted to thank him for it, but I was also going to ask him, do you think they could have charged him any more for shipping?
Yeah, shipping is getting ridiculous.
Look at this, this box right here was $17.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
I like the
gracious.
Bearcat though.
17.
Like a
He
Bearcat.
sent me one of his hats from Grumman. Beautiful. I wanted to thank him for it.
Yeah, that's a nice hat.
I ain't gonna wear it around the shop here because it get all dusty.
Yeah. Sparky, when are you ever going to draw plans to that thing?
They're working on them
Oh, they are cool.
and a DVD.
Looks like he's working on dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are you
Sparky's good for that.
It's bedtime.
Oh, come on, Joe. Say it ain't so.
It is.
Come on, Joe, you're not that old.
Well, it's like
No.
11:14 where he's at.
So Joe, before you go, I got an airplane story.
Yes, go ahead. I'm not
So-
going yet.
I flew commercial Saturday. I flew commercial. Usually pretty boring flight. So if we're landing in Phoenix mid-afternoon. It's always hot. Mid-afternoon is hot, a lot of thermal activity. It was an Airbus A321. He's landing and he lands. It was the hardest touchdown I ever had in my life on a commercial airline.
Wow.
He hits and then he goes around.
Oh, really?
Ooh, it goes
Wow.
around.
Oh, my.
Geez.
So
Touch and
I'm
go.
paying attention.
Yeah.
Nothing sounds abnormal. He's going around, he's climbing out. He goes out, I don't know, 5 minutes, makes pretty much a U-turn, comes back, lands opposite direction.
Really?
Landed hard, but he landed. It's fine. So as we're getting out, he mentioned that the wind direction was changing. They're turning the airport around. And he said something about wind shear, but it was pretty vague 5-second explanation. So that afternoon, I texted Chris McMillan. I just told him the story I just told you. And I said, what do you think?
He screwed up.
No, he wrote me back a small book by text.
Did he?
And what he suspects is Phoenix, that time of year, that time of day in Phoenix is pretty nasty. And those airplanes are flown by computer. And he was probably syncing just about right. And then something changed. And Chris thinks it was probably a wind shear. And he pushed a button, says go around. And he pushed the button while he's in the air. But something happens. And so he lands. He hits the ground. But meanwhile, the engines are throttling up. And they're doing all kinds of things. They're adjusting the flaps. They're adjusting the gear. They're adjusting the angle of attack so you don't scrape the tail. All kinds of things going on. And It's a long text. I'll send it to you if you
Yeah,
want.
that's interesting.
But that's was Chris's thoughts on
Thinking.
that.
Well, if you got a tailwind going through a front shift,
Yeah,
if
you know
it
what?
landed the other way, you know.
Tailwind was nothing. It was a couple of knots maybe.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of thermal activity in Phoenix
Huge
that time
thermal.
of day.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Oh,
You go fly model sailplanes in Phoenix this time of year, you stay up as long as you want to.
Well, I'm glad you're okay there, Jim.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
okay. You know, the guy next to me, he had chatted me up. He knew my background. He was interested. He made a very interesting point. No one else on the airplane even cared.
Man.
Yeah.
Did you see the
That's different.
737 hit so hard it drove the gear out the top of the wing and the engine was
No,
rubbing
I
on the
didn't see
ground? Maybe it wasn't a 730, some airliner. It was on the news. He hit so hard it drove the gear through the wing.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lick right there, man.
That is never good.
That's a pilot that'll have some explaining to do.
Mm.
Now, Jim, do they land those with the computer, or don't they come down so low and then switch over to the flying it manually?
Chris said some of both.
Mhm, that's what I
He
think.
said some of the old school guys do a lot of manual, but you don't have to.
Really?
It probably has a Cat 3 capability. Whether you use it or not is up to the pilot.
So the planes are flying themselves now, huh?
They can.
Yeah, they can.
They,
I mean,
are
when
they
he-
any
when
better
he
than the
just-
cars driving themselves and crashing into shit?
When Chris described all the things that the computers do in a split second, a human pilot really couldn't do that.
Yeah. It's like they've got that supercomputer now that it's AI. And they gave it a problem that took a team, I think they said 3 weeks to do the problem. And they first switched on this AI and gave it this problem. It took it 20 seconds to solve the problem. And all it really did was prove that the humans were correct in what they came up with. 20 seconds though.
You know, none of the airplanes I flew ever landed by a computer.
A lot of the new stuff.
And
A lot of the new stuff does.
I've been in the simulators on a 767 that did it. And it's a little unnerving. The wheels just giving it this all the time. The throttles are going up and down. It's wrestling it and kerwham, the brakes go on, the slats come up, and you're thinking, well, that's really kind of cool, I guess. But it's
that'd be fun.
interesting.
It's interesting, but it's scary to me. I mean, did nobody ever watch any of the Terminator movies? You know? I mean, I'm serious. Jesus.
Well, are you guys aware that the new Cirrus jet has a land button? You can push a button. It calculates where it is, where the airport is it can land at, and it'll fly there, send out a signal, I'm coming in, squawk 7,700, and land on their runway.
No, I like
Yeah.
that.
Here's
The
one
Cirrus
for you.
jet do that.
75.
There
Here's
is a
one for you,
jet.
Joe. In
Say again?
1974, F-14s had ACL, automatic carrier landing. They line them up on the ball and push the button, and the airplane would land itself on the deck.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and they hit the tail hook hit so much in the same spot that they had to suspend flight and repair one section of the deck. I asked how big was the section. He said about 1 foot square. That tail hook was hitting that one spot so often that it was wearing the deck out. And I said, you got to be kidding me.
That's
He
hard
said,
to believe.
And yeah, he showed me the pictures. And that deck ain't made out of a piece of sheet metal either.
It's probably 2 or 3 inches thick.
More like 4. And they had to bring
Aircraft
on
carrier, 1 inch piece of 1 inch thick plate, 4x4 railroad ties, then a 1-inch thick piece of plate, and then 4x4. It's 2 layers of railroad ties, and then non-skid.
Well, this thing came out of here in a chunk about that big, and it was about that thick. I don't know what they did, but anyway. But this was just on the back end of the ship. The deck goes out, and there's actually a piece at the very back that lays down. And this was that piece that was laying down that was about destroyed, just worn through. But anyway, I mean, modern airplanes are amazing, but some of them are just wow.
What I was talking about, what was amazing to me is that was in 1974.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sure, I got out of high school. Good.
Well, if you ever get a chance to take a tour on an aircraft carrier, do it.
Oh, I'm
some of the
telling you.
technology was just jaw dropping that I saw when I took a tour.
Never again volunteer yourself.
Oh,
Wasn't that
that's one
tour?
That's one thing. Yeah, that's one thing I learned early. Never volunteer. Nothing. My dad taught me that early. I grew up on an Air Force base, and my dad taught me you never volunteer for nothing, no time, no how, period. And it has served me well.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be going to model airplane contests if people didn't volunteer.
Oh, that's different. But I'm not talking about going in. I'm talking about never volunteer to do stuff in the service, because you'll be working all the time, because there's plenty of people that will let you take their duty. Oof. No, I believe in the other. You're right. You wouldn't be doing a lot of things.
Pauline just got home.
All right. Hey, thanks, Joe, for coming in. Appreciate it.
Joe, take care of yourself, buddy. Talk to you
Joe,
Friday.
it's dinner, buddy.
All right, Joe. Thank you.
See you, Joe.
Hey, Stuart, you want to get Joe's attention or what?
Actually, Gordon, I weighed this thing up. It's
I'll see you,
48
Joe.
ounces.
Weighs 48.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent weight.
Yeah. I just changed the muffler. The muffler difference was, I don't know, half an ounce or more.
What is that? 46?
Yeah. It's 46 on it.
Make
Looks
it
good.
big.
What little I can see.
I'll make it big so everybody can see it a little better. There we go.
So what'd you come up with as far as your CG?
She's a little tail heavy.
Are you right at the back edge of your sheeting?
Yeah, right at the end, back of the sheeting, basically. Yeah.
You better put the heavy muffler back on it.
Oh no, actually it's pretty good. Just a little bit tail heavy.
It's still tail heavy.
Just just a second. It's kind of hard to feel where that is. Okay. I'm feeling where it's just a little bit tail heavy.
I'd put the heavy muffler back on it.
I have a 51 on the front of mine, and it just came out perfect.
Yeah, my new one, I'm putting a 51 on my new one. I'm finishing now.
Yeah, it worked out perfect with a 51.
Which 51 was that? The old or the new style?
Square head.
Definitely showing tail heavy.
Square head.
Yeah, that's the new one. You're still tail heavy there.
Is it 3 inches back, like he said?
Yeah, it should be right around the spar.
My old school one's going on an old timer.
See,
On
it's
my
back to the bar,
Pathfinders,
3 inches.
on my Pathfinders, they're 1/8 of an inch behind the spar. But I tell everybody else to bounce them on the spar or slightly forward.
3 inches is way back behind the sheeting.
Yeah, the sheeting looks shallow on that.
See it better this
Oh,
way.
that doesn't have 3-inch sheeting on it?
Doesn't
No,
look like-
it's about 2 inches.
Wow. If you go back 3 inches, it should be about right.
Well,
Hold it back 3 inches roughly, and let's see what it looks like then.
Oh, 3 inches? Hang on.
Measure on the bottom because you can't, okay.
I'm just kind of winging it here. Now it's nose heavy, like really
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. I was thinking that was 3-inch sheeting. You want to be at least 1/8 of an inch behind that spar.
Well, if it's 2-inch sheeting, Gordy, it's not gonna work out for him.
No. You,
I still think it's action tail heavy.
I can't imagine the sheeting stopping before the spar.
strange. That spar looks like it's very far forward.
Does to me
That's what I
too.
say. It needs to move behind the spar.
You looking for 22% or 24%, Gordy, at the
Yes.
root?
Yep.
Yeah, 25% at the root will get you the ballpark for most stuff.
So that's from here
No,
to the front,
that's the total from the flaps to the leading edge.
from the back of the flap.
From the back of the flap to the leading edge is how you figure your percent.
Okay. So it's 25%. It should be.
Well, I'd
So if
try.
you had a 12-inch wing, 3 inches back would be exactly what it'd be.
25%, yeah.
See how wide the wing is first. What's the width of the wing with the flaps?
I think it's 11 1/4, I believe.
12 inches.
12.
So 3 inches
12
back is
inches.
25%.
Is depends on where I'm measuring.
That's
Yeah,
at the root.
Right at the fuse, right at the fuse.
Yeah, it's 12 inches.
Yep. So if you came 3 inches back, it'd be 25%, like Gordy's saying, exactly 25%.
So put 2 marks on the bottom of the wing, 3 inches back, and then hold it on your fingers there and let's see what you get.
Now I'm nose heavy. Roughly, I can tell just by rough feel of an inch. I mean,
Right. Exactly.
Well, you said it wouldn't turn, so that makes sense. If it wouldn't turn, it is nose heavy.
well, I was having problems where it wasn't turning.
Right.
Oh,
Because it's nose heavy.
Exactly. That's why, yeah, because it's nose heavy.
so
You always
what
put a
about,
bone wheel on the nose.
what about your flap to elevator ratio?
That help?
Uh,
It looks kind of wonderful.
He's got a lot of flap.
flap
A
is
lot of
an
flap.
elevator.
That's a lot of flap.
The elevator could be moved up, I think.
Yeah. Does it have
Ooh.
a slider in the back?
Can I adjust it, you saying?
Yeah.
The elevator? Yeah.
I'd move it up a hole.
Move it up 1 hole.
You
Okay.
need more elevator, less flap.
Right. Especially for the weight. That's pretty light airplane for the square inches.
By the way, we have a comment from Terry Mitchell. He says, like sent and great to see everyone. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. And Philip Bailey did give us a like. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that. So that makes 24 likes. And we've had a total of $10 in super chats. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support.
So you said that I should go down on the
Up. On
yeah,
the elevator.
Up on the elevator.
Move it.
Yeah.
Take it
On
closer.
the elevator
take it-
horn, go up
The
1.
elevator horn needs to be shorter.
right.
Take
No,
it
sorry,
closer
I was
to
gonna
the
say
head.
the flap, so just leave them there.
Yeah, don't worry
Yes.
about the flaps because when you change the elevator, that'll change the ratio.
Yep, okay. I'll go up 1.
So while you're doing that, I'm gonna go down and look at the plans. I got them on the bench to make sure I'm telling you right on the CG.
All right. Thank you, Gordon.
I like your paint job. What color is that? I know it's blue, but
Royal blue.
what color?
It's royal blue.
It's pretty.
I know the guy who built that airplane. He's no longer with us, unfortunately.
Oh,
Okay.
shucks.
So
That
is
seems to be
all
happening.
film, Lynn, or is it paint and film?
It's film. It's film, and I believe the fuse is paint.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, once you get it balanced where you like it, you will love flying that thing.
The Finder's a good flying airplane.
And they
It
just,
was better when I put some tailwheel on it, but it also had the heavier muffler. I put the lighter one on. So
Got a big glob of Gumby you can take to the field with you?
a big glob of what?
Gumby.
Oh,
just clay.
I was past
What?
that age.
Do what? Oh,
When you get more elevator, you're gonna take some lift out of the wing, the flaps, the drag, and it'll come to attention quicker
Okay.
Yep.
with more elevator.
I have a question from Terry Mitchell. He says, is it better to check the CG upright or inverted?
Yes.
No difference.
Yes, no difference.
So Jim, you're saying it's better to check the CG one way or the other?
I'm saying it
It
doesn't matter.
It
Okay.
don't matter which way.
All right, I just want to make sure I understood. It don't
You
matter.
could really pick up the fuselage close to the wing as you can and get a pretty good idea. Just pick up the fuselage right above the wing and let it loosely fall wherever it wants.
It's a good idea.
What I like to do is I start with
Pick it up
CG
3
straight
inches
from-
from the leading edge. Yeah, measure and pick it up 3 inches from the leading edge.
Yeah, hang on.
That's a pretty thing.
It is.
Just
Yeah,
partial to
Gilbert's
blue, Joe, we
partial to
know.
blue.
Yeah, I like, but
You do.
There you go. Put some tape
What the
on.
heck? I flew a Nobler for years, guys. Still love Noblers. What color is Nobler? Blue. You know,
Yeah, I like
Not
Noblers.
a member you're not a member of the society, Phil.
what society is that?
The Society for the Prevention of Painting Noblers Blue.
Well, my new one is bright red, but it's a Gieske, so
That's better.
Need a real pretty black one.
I thought I might as well bring mine out, Charles.
Oh, great. Let me make you big here. Just a second, Gordy. All right, mouse, cooperate with me. Here we go. And oh, great, excellent. Let me replace you with. All right, look at this.
oh, look at that.
Right, look at that. Stuart, check that out.
You can send that over my way.
Yeah, I've got a spot on the wall that will just fit.
Why on the
Pretty.
wall?
That's where
Why
I
would you
store
put it on the
those.
wall? Let's
No,
get
put
it,
it
let's get it
there.
on the air. Let's get it on the lines and fly it.
Well, that's more fun, but I mean, I have
Very
to have a
nice,
place to
Gordy.
store it.
Good.
That's sharp, Gordy.
So that's your leather Phillips. I see the leather in the wing. You have leather in the back as well?
No, that's just spackling paint, sheetrock material.
Okay. Very nice.
It is nice.
Thank you for bringing it up.
I checked CG, and according to plans, it should be 2 3/4 to 3 inches.
All right.
That's right.
Right, there you go.
Okay.
That's from the
To
master.
me, a CG on a plane is very much dependent on relative weight of the plane. If it's a high wing loaded, a low loading, I like to put the CG back. If it's a very super light plane, I want to move it forward a lot.
Exactly.
So it all depends on how how light is the plane relative to the wing area.
Yep.
And how
And
much
his
flap and elevator you use.
That's
Yeah.
pretty close.
Yeah.
is
So-
48 ounces.
You make it big, Stuart, so we can all see what's happening. Yeah, it's like you got it pretty balanced.
Pretty close.
You're in the ballpark.
And that's good to
Did you move your push rod up a hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
Move the control.
There
That's
you
more
go.
like it.
Now
That's
you
more
got
like it.
That's
some
better.
Better.
You're gonna
That's much
find
Now
it
we're
better.
talking.
much crisper now.
You won't be
And
using
does it
all
seal it?
that, but it'll come to
Yeah,
you
you'll
quick.
probably have,
It's
yeah,
just
you
a
may have to
ratio.
reduce the sensitivity in the handle.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
it.
watch it when I'll be careful when I'll stay up high and do some loops and some squares and see how it goes.
Are your hinges sealed?
Oh, I can't remember now. No. That's something
Well,
else.
That's a profound change. My airplanes don't ever leave the house without them being sealed. It's such a
Never.
profound change.
Me
Yeah.
neither. I keep telling these guys, but they don't want to listen to me.
No, I got Alzheimer's. That's my problem. I forget.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Every comment made is obsoleted by that.
Elevators too, Jimmy. I do them
Yep.
both.
Mhm.
Do 'em all.
Elevators and flaps. I agree. See, Stuart, you're getting a full education here tonight.
Yeah, we got the
They're
stunt
telling
school
you the-
going on. And
They're
stunts-
telling you the same thing, telling you the same things I tell you every week.
And that's how it is. You can tell someone the same thing, and then someone else tells them, and they go, "Oh, that's a good idea."
If you could just fly
Yeah.
a good airplane, when you fly a good airplane, you go, wow, I get it.
Yep.
Well, when I flew this a year ago, it was a wow then, but now I think I've gotten a little better. It's needed some tuning here. So
I was
The
at,
more you learn, the harder it gets.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
at an airport about 10 years ago, and a J3 Cub taxied up, and I got to talk to the guy and happened to be looking. All his hinge lines were sealed,
Oh, J3.
same way we do.
Amazing.
I thought, wow.
Feel the hinge lines.
Yep, on a J3 Cub.
What do
You
you
could
got?
do it
run.
on that airplane with Monaco pretty easy if you wanted to.
Uh-oh, look at this. Climb. It looks like a climb and dive.
That's
Oh,
what it is.
I've never seen one. No, thanks for showing it to me. Now, how much
It
do they
works
run?
What
great.
is it?
$40.
Okay.
What was
They
he
work
looking
great.
at?
What I like about this is has a little bit of has an accelerometer built into it, and it's actually sensing as you go up and down. It's going to give you some. I don't know exactly how is it going to run. I hope it's going to run good,
Ah,
but you can use an app on your iPhone to program it.
yeah, I might have to get one of those.
I think it's a good deal. And another thing that it does like the KR timer. It senses the motor RPM with these two wires. And when it does that, then that means it's auto throttling, right? To maintain the RPM. You don't program the ESC. Almost you can use a cheap ESC and stuff like that. So I thought this would be a good start for my young Padawan.
Yeah, very nice.
So one is gonna go on his plane, and the other one on my Pro Euler.
Very
Oh,
good.
Euler. Oh, Lord.
It's a Prowler with a U.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. Hey, you guys, Jim Hoffman had to go, so he left, but he thanked everyone. Hey, Gordon, what's up, Gordon?
I just want to ask Sparky, what is the working time on that Seal?
On the Superfill,
Yeah,
you probably got a couple hours, maybe hour to
Okay.
2 hours.
so you got plenty of time to work it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'd say an hour. Yeah, for sure.
it's good
Oh.
stuff.
Yeah, an hour is still plenty long.
And you don't want to smooth it out until it starts to set up.
Thank you.
It'll start to get some body to it, you can tell. And then you just don't lick your finger. Put
Ooh.
No,
alcohol
don't
on
do
your
that.
finger, alcohol on your finger and rub it on there and it'll smooth right out.
You just use
You
water.
lick-
It works good too.
Yeah.
Seems fine.
You lick
I,
your
I
finger,
just
you
keep
won't
a
do
little
it but
margarine.
once.
I just use a margarine container with a little bit of water in the bottom. I just dip my finger in and run it along. It runs beautiful.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's the same way I do this sheetrock. I put it on, then come back and dip my finger in the water.
The
Yes.
dope doesn't attack that spackle.
Oh, it loves it. It grips so hard. I've never had a bubble.
Yeah,
Never bubbles.
I found that it gets soft. The spackle gets soft.
If it depends on what kind of spackling you're using. If you're using the kind made for sheetrock, it'll work. If you use that cheap stuff that's made for patching holes in your wall, don't use that. That's too soft.
I ain't using none of that shit anymore anyway, but
Not since I found that. No, that's much better stuff.
Yeah. If you dip your finger in it to work it, it comes out glass smooth, and all you gotta do is barely sand it with sandpaper. You can actually sand it with your finger.
What I wish I'd known a little sooner. I was buying the stuff from a supplier that we all know and love. And then I found out Sparky could, and I needed it bad, and they were out of it. And talked to Sparky, and he told me to call Wix and order it from Wix. So I get it from Wix, and it's the same price. Well, I expected it to be the same little jars. No,
No.
this
A big
big
one.
and about this big. It's 4 times as big a jar for the same money.
Don't forget to use Stunt 10 for your discount.
Yeah. Yeah. I talked to the guy on the phone and I couldn't think of the discount. And I said, Dadgummit, what is it? Sparky told me to say to get the discount. And he just told me and put it on there for me. They're real nice. They're real nice people.
Cool.
They love you, Sparky.
What's that?
They love you.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money.
Of course
over
we
there.
love you. Of course we love you.
Oh, he's talking
Everybody
about
loves
Wix.
Sparky.
He's talking about Wix.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love you
Wix.
too, but Wix loves you too.
I've been dealing with them about 20 years. I spent a lot of money over there.
And you send a lot of people too, because a lot of people see your decals and your shows, and then you talk about them, and then we all say, well, I'll try it. And it works. So we go back and hound them again.
They got all kind of shit there. I did that tour. I don't know if you looked at it, but they got all kind of bullshit there. They used to have spruce and plywood and stuff, but they quit selling it because nobody was buying it. So they're just doing metal parts now instead of wood parts.
Aircraft spruce has a very inexpensive plywood.
Mm-hmm.
You can get like 4x4 sheet of 164 for like $60 or something. You know, if you try to get the same thing at a different place, you're just gonna pay an arm and 2 legs.
Well, the hobby shop sells 64th plywood 2 foot by 48 for $50.
Yeah, scary.
That's the reason it's still hanging on the shelf.
Talk about spending money. I filled up the truck yesterday for my wife so they take it kayaking. $90. And it wasn't even empty. I still had a quarter of a tank.
Yeah.
I just about passed out.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
I had a
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I had a different question. Just let's finish the conversation first.
And you talking about airplanes?
I forgot.
Model airplanes. Go ahead, Tryon.
No, I'm trying to get flux off of the stuff that I did here. Was baking soda removes the flux or what?
Yeah, baking soda and water. Just make a thick paste.
For sure.
Thick paste, and then take a toothbrush, put that on there, take a toothbrush and just wash it and run around. Don't use your toothbrush, so use your wife's. It tastes bad.
Oh,
good
terrible.
idea. Good idea.
Now, MEK will take it off too.
I'll tell her you said that.
Oh no. I met your wife. Don't you dare.
oh, come on now. Don't be like that.
She's a sweet
No, why
lady,
you gotta
but I
be
do
like
not
that?
want to make her mad. Ooh. I may need legal help in Atlanta at some point. She's a good lawyer. Jeez. Oh.
Hey, I want to ask you a question. Anybody have any experience? Oh, it's out in the car. Anybody have any experience with safety? Wait a minute. I got the blue label stuff here. Quick clean, or what the hell is this? Clean strip. No. Yeah, this is it. Clean strip lacquer thinner. Anybody have experience with this?
I've got a gallon right now sitting on my floor.
Okay.
I've got a gallon, but I haven't used it yet.
This is what I normally use to clean the brushes with. Well,
Yep.
I went to Lowe's today, and they had, this is $22. They had gallons of this stuff with the green label. It was green friendly for $9. So I bought a gallon of it, and
Wow.
I was thinking about buying it all, but I don't know whether the green label works because it's environmentally friendly and all that, shit.
Okay.
Probably doesn't work.
That's right.
That's what I figure. Sparky, you know better than that. You shouldn't do that. You know,
Well-
anything that is environmentally friendly doesn't work. You told me that.
Yeah, environmentally friendly, non-toxic means it don't work, but does anybody have
That's
any
right.
experience
Awesome.
with the green label stuff?
I use it to clean my spray gun when I'm through spraying dope.
The green stuff?
No, the stuff you just had out there.
Yeah.
He knows
that's what
that. He's trying to figure out about the green stuff, but the green label.
Don't know.
Well,
I
tell
think
you what
Mike
you can
Lonke-
do.
I think Mike Lonke mentioned something. I just don't remember. Mike Lonke, if you're listening,
Well, Mike was telling us about that stuff. He told us that would work. Because
Not the
somebody
green
was
stuff.
somebody was trying to find. Yeah, he wasn't talking about the green. He was talking about that stuff there, the blue
Okay.
blue can.
Okay.
And he was telling us it does work. And then I went and looked, and it's what I've been using. So
it's what I've been using to clean my guns with and all
that's
that.
what I use.
I picked up a gallon of that green shit to see if it worked.
Well, let us
Had a
know.
laugh last week. One of our guys gave me a bottle of green type cleaner for cleaning my airplanes. He says, "Oh, this stuff works great." I
Sure.
sprayed it on my airplane the other day. It wouldn't take anything off. It was worse than water.
Well, they've got
Oh,
some stuff in a bottle, spray bottle. It's called
Windex.
clear glass or something like that. And it's also in a can, an aerosol can. The aerosol can will absolutely take the oil off the plane just right now. I mean, it can be cool weather and it's already turning to goo, and you spray this stuff on and wipe it down with a towel and then spray a second light coat and wipe it off, and that plane is clean. But the
Right.
just pump bottle
Quart
of the
bottle,
same
yeah.
stuff, you might as well be spraying water. It won't even
Doesn't do
take it off
anything.
in the warm weather. I don't know what to.
Yeah.
I use
That's
that
what
Sprayway product. It's a glass cleaner called Sprayway. I use that to clean my planes. That works pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
To get
Windshield washer fluid from the gas station. It's $1.90 a gallon or whatever the hell it is.
I haven't tried that. That's a good idea.
Hey, Sparky,
Yeah.
you do you add Windex to that? Because I had a guy in the RC club. He uses 50-50. 50 Windex and 50
Windshield washer fluid?
from cars.
No, I don't have, just use the straight windshield washer fluid.
Okay. I'm gonna try that. Thanks.
I have a
Okay,
comment from,
I have, yeah. I want to ask, go ahead.
I have a comment from Terry Mitchell. He says, "Hey, Caffeine, did you get your lap times figured out?" And what are you going to say to that? I don't think you have yet, right?
No, I will fly again this weekend, and I will try several combination prop sizes, fencer sizes. Yeah. Also I will add some more wingtip weight. So yeah, hopefully it will fly good again.
Kevin, first of all, learn where your motor is happy, okay? That's the
Yep.
most important thing, okay?
Yes.
So when just before you launch, when it's on the ground, the motor should be like in a 4 cycle, but
Yep.
probably blip into the 2 on
Mhm.
sporadically. It's gonna
Yep.
go kind of like that, you know? And
Does it go again?
Not again.
Oh Lord. Oh Lordy.
That was awesome.
I like that one. I didn't see
so kind of like that. And then fly the motor every time in the same spot. So here's the idea, Caffeine, right?
Yep.
Pitch gives you speed, right? So that's that,
Yes.
right? Diameter gives you the load on the motor.
Yep.
Okay. If you don't have enough diameter is too small. Okay.
Mhm.
You're gonna see it when you do the loops. It's gonna the motor is gonna break in a 2 cycle. It's gonna stay there forever.
Yes.
You're gonna go faster and faster. We never go 2-4, 2-4, 2-4, right?
Mhm.
Diameter is too big. It's not gonna break in a 2 cycle. It's gonna stay in a 4 cycle. Maybe
Right.
just in very critical positions where you're overhead, where you just really you know, you're really asking for it, right? Maybe over there might break in a 2 cycle. So by changing the diameter, you tune the motor run, right?
Yep.
And then you deal with the speed by adding pitch or taking away pitch from the prop. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you can have wood
Easy
props
peasy.
and plastic props and stuff like that. And on all of them, if you use a plastic prop, then on that particular prop, you can find the diameter, the correct diameter, right?
Yep.
And then the pitch might not be good, right? But if it's a lighter prop, that's going to use a little bigger diameter, right?
Yep.
To load the motor equally. And another prop that's heavier is going to have less diameter to load the motor the same way. So it's such a vast area of just talking props and speed that, you know, it's like, but what I'm giving you the tools to realize, like when you go out and fly, like, what's going on here? I'm doing a loop and it gets in 2 cycle. Whoa, you know, it never goes in 4. Oh, and you put your finger on it. My diameter is too big. Go back to the pits, clock, you know, to clip 1/8 inch of the tip, send it off, stuff like that, fly it again, see what happens. Okay. And eventually you're gonna fall into the I'm being an idiot. No, you need more diameter on that. So this prop is not gonna fit your plane to begin with.
Backwards. Okay.
Yep.
You need a bigger diameter, right? Or if you start with something that's too big of a diameter, doesn't break in a 2 cycle anywhere, then you know it's too big, right? Clip off the tip. Just start clipping off the tip until the motor starts to run right, and then go like, oh, okay, I'm here. The motor runs well on the ground. I set it up the same. In the air is good. You're good to go, right? Then you need to play with the fuel tank height, right?
Yes.
You might fly too fast, invert it to slow normal flight, or the
Right
vice
side
versa.
up. Yeah, exactly.
You play with your fuel tank height until they are both the same, right?
Yep.
So now you have a good motor run. You have equal on both sides. The motor runs equally on both sides, right? Now now the third thing is just the last thing, you worry about speed. Okay, maybe there'll be more speed, less speed, whatever. You know, wood props are easy to add more speed. What you do, you go underneath the leading edge of the prop and you sand off that. Okay. Same as adding some pitch to the prop, right?
Yep.
That's called a Phillips entry.
Yes. So yeah, you just take your prop on the leading edge underneath, and you just put a little bit of roundness over there, and that's gonna add you a little bit of pitch, but it's not much. Okay. You might have to go to the next pitch up, but if you need a little bit more extra speed, then that's what you do.
Okay.
Add a little Phillips entry. That's right.
And the two handiest things I can add to that: one, anytime you get a new prop, look at the edge of it, it's going to look flat. Round the sucker off. That'll help a lot. But the best thing you can do when you're learning to get and figure out what prop you need, piece of paper and a pencil. Take notes.
Yep.
Go out there and change it, but write down everything you do and everything, what it did. And then just keep taking notes. I learned to carry a notebook with me, flying stunt. That's what got me to do so much of that. But take notes of everything. I was at the Nationals and talked to Billy Werbridge. Billy went out and got a notebook and came back, and you wouldn't believe the notes the man has on propellers.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it can be very vast. Yeah.
If Billy Werbridge, one of the man in stunt, I mean, there's people that argue with me, but I think he's one of the best there ever been. And he keeps notes on propellers and keeps notes on changes he's made and keeps notes on the day and all that stuff. If Billy does it, he's got a better memory than I've got, even at his age. I'm going to do it too. And you probably should too. I suggest anybody keep notes.
Yeah, I have, each plane has its own notebook, and I have a pen loop, so I always have a pencil or a pen to write in my notebook.
Yeah.
I have another comment from Terry Forbes. He says, the green is garbage, my opinion. Thank you, Terry. Terry Forbes, that's the Terry and the Pirates. I haven't spoken to you in a while. Thank you, Terry, for coming in. And then Terry Mitchell, he says, referring to caffeine. He's running an Ineos 35CX, won't 2.4 break.
Holy cow, CX.
Is that
Ooh,
right,
that's a
caffeine?
strong-
You're running a 35CX?
No, not CX. It's XS.
Okay, that's a different critter. Okay.
It's about the same, the 40XZS. If you familiar with that engine.
Oh, and then
Yeah. I
We
think
had a-
it really doesn't matter what motor you use, they're all 2.4 brake. Some subtle, some are very subtle. Okay.
Mhm.
They will do it, but very subtle, very soft.
Yes.
Okay. Some are very pronounced, depending on what porting they have, what timing they have, but depends on that. I had a nice half a plane that had a Norvell 61 on it, and that plane with 2.4 brake was very subtle, but it was there. Okay.
I agree.
But yeah, it all depends on the timing of the motor. And yeah, I know I know Sparky Online is going to cringe about this, what I'm about to say. Or if you want to forget about all these problems, just put an electric motor on your plane and then you are done with it.
The 2.4 brake. I have an LA46, and people say that doesn't do a 2.4 brake, and my LA46 was braking.
it does.
Yeah, it does. They
do a great job.
Absolutely beautiful. The
Most
right
I think
prop,
that's-
they break.
the right prop,
That's one of the
it will break.
My LA
That's
one of the best-
machine.
You know
one
what,
of the best
Brian?
short motors out there.
I actually had a dream about like last night or 2 days, 2 nights ago, that I finally converted my factory into electric, and then it flew really well, you know.
You had a dream about an electric plane?
Yes, I was like, just put everything I can find in Indonesia, and then just put into my factory, and then voila, it flies.
Set it and forget it.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Oh man, he's a
I
stunt
dreamed
flyer. He's
about
got
electric.
it
That's amazing.
bad.
Caffeine right here.
If I ever dream about electric, I'm gonna commit Harry Carey. I won't be back.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Sparky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sparky, I've been following your build and stuff like that. So couple of things. One, I was surprised that you didn't put any reinforcements on the wingtips, connecting the end of the wingtip to the spar itself.
Yeah.
Because I'll be afraid, like if you just bang it or knock it a little bit harder on the wingtip, it's gonna smash and it's gonna collapse in there.
You realize how this is built, right? It's
Yeah.
Three layers of cross grain wood. It's like plywood out here.
Ah, okay then. Yeah. Yeah. And another thing, this is one thing I like to do on my planes in particular. When I build the fuselages, most fuselages are like you build them with formers and two sides, right? What I like to do in addition to that, I like to put a zigzagging pattern on the bottom and the top, and that's going to make it the torsionally very, very stiff. Even though, and after that, if you add the top and bottom blocks, it's going to make it even stiffer than that. So I just like that, you know. It kind of stabilizes the fuselage as I build it. So just ideas. I'm throwing some ideas your way, buddy.
I've done it before, but if you look right there, I just got cross braces. Those are just little sticks in there to keep it from smashing.
Yeah.
But once this gets glued on and it becomes an egg, it becomes very stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a beam wing airplane. One part of the airplane is very weak, but the sum of the total is very strong, if that makes sense.
It does. It totally
Yeah,
makes
it does.
Especially when you cover an I-beam, it gets extremely strong.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, Tryon, you were
Very
saying
nice
about
build,
those
by the way.
cross braces?
What?
I was just gonna say, you were saying about those cross braces. I
Um,
put those
no.
in my I put those in my those in my Geeski Bear, and I just used 1/8 inch, and it stiffened up quite a bit. I was surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Just 1/8 inch
it's
square.
like you have the formers, you go like a zigzag pattern, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking
exactly. Like I had it the way Sparky has it now, and then I just used 1/8 inch square doing a zigzag all the way up, and it really
Yeah.
did stiffen it up. I was surprised.
Yeah. So what I like about that
Doesn't
is
take
that
much.
once you align your elevator and the wing, the alignment is being kept intact, right? After that, because the fuselage is not going to twist at all. And then after that, when you add the blocks and stuff like that, it's just pretty much trouble free.
What are you going to show us, Gordon? Showing us your shear webbing?
No, you see this trailing edge? It goes all the way to the wingtip, and the wingtip actually goes inside, and it comes out, and you pull it together. And you put your brace, your extra layer around here, so you make a nice round wingtip.
Yes.
And with this trailing edge going over the top of that wingtip, it's never going to break.
Yeah, and I like how you tie up the main spars with the wingtip too.
Yep.
It's very stiff. Yeah.
Anyway, that's the way I do all mine. I run the trailing edge all the way over the wingtip.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gordy.
Yeah.
You can have 100 people and 100 different ways to build up wingtips.
Right.
What I did on my wingtips, for example, I just took 2 pieces of balsa wood and I molded them together like that, laminating them together, and then I trim 1 edge and I trim the other from the other view. You can add a little block of balsa on the leading edge, and that's just a laminated piece. Just super strong and it's nice and
This wing
very
tip,
light.
my wing tips here are, I'll count the pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10, 12 pieces laminated together.
Yeah.
And the grains running this way on this side, and on that one it's running that way. On this one it's running that way. On this piece here it's running that way, and on this piece it's running that way.
Yes.
On the top, and then the other grain is going, so it's plywood. It's really stiff.
No. Cool. Yeah.
And then I got little braces in the trailing edge here and leading edge.
Yeah.
This is a solid wing. This is a solid tip on the end. So
Yeah.
Once it's covered, it's not going anywhere ever.
no.
Hey guys, I'm going to end the show. We can continue on in the after part. I'm just going to end the live stream. But before I go do that, Terry Forbes' last comment is, I have several OSLA 40. He says 45s. I think he means 46s, and metal back plates, and they all 2-4 break beautifully.
Yep.
Anyways, thank you very much, everybody, for coming in, tuning in. Make sure if you are watching this as a replay, you hit the super thanks. Another way to contribute. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please consider joining our Stunthangar YouTube channel membership. Start at just $4.99 a month. That's less than 17 cents a day. So until then, fair winds, tight lines. See you guys Friday.
Alrighty.
Thank you very much.